Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are going to present the result of group discussion entitled Society and Intelligence. The members are Afam Habibah Ramadan, Muhammad Wajar, and Fiona Amafiska Ibanez. The first part, we are going to explain about the strategies for reading academic texts. Based on the theory that we have already discussed and we have already read, there are three important points. One is before reading, second is reading, and the third is after reading. Each of the elements of it has a correlation each other's. In the first part, before reading, think about the reasons for reading the text. So before reading, we have to find the text first. Then we have to find the reason why we want to read this one. Such as maybe we are interested because it is about our subject or it's related to our subject, and also it's we want to the background information or detailed information of the text. We want to know what the writer's view are, and also we are going to discuss what is the text is talking about exactly. So in a before reading, basically we have to understand about this one or the main reason why we want to read it. And also in a before reading, look at the title, headline, any subheading, photos, illustration. Use this to predict what the text will be about. So the text that we have found is Society and Intelligence. It is the title of the text and the headline of the text. So think about what you already know on this topic. So when we are talking about society and intelligence, it's related to our subject exactly, and also it's related to education background. And the fourth, write down what you would like to find out from the text. You could write actual question you would like to answer to. So we have find several important point of the text. So we are going to present on the below. And the 5, make a note of word or phrase connect with the topic that you find in the text. Yes, it is important. When we have already write such kind of question related to the text that we want to explore, then we can note a kind of word or phrase that connected related to the topic. So for the next part is about reading and after reading, and also question will explain by the others.
Then reading. In reading, first survey the text, read the first and last paragraph and the beginning and final sentence of the other paragraph. Second, identify your purpose for reading. Third, write down in 1 or 2 sentences. Last, in reading, do a second more careful reading, marking any new words that are important for your understanding. After reading. After reading, first make a list of the new words which you think will be useful for you in the future. Give definition of the words, indication of whether they are nouns, verbs, and adjectives, phrases in which the word occurs, other words with the same meaning, other form of the word. Second, evaluate what you have read. Who does it fit into what you already think and know? Does it confirm your ideas? Add to them, conflict with them? If there are opinions, do you agree or disagree with them? Strategies and intelligence. Intelligence tests have been constructed of 3 kinds: verbal paper and pencil test, non-verbal paper and pencil test, where the tasks are presented by means of pictures and diagrams, and performance tests which require the manipulation of objects. Some, such as the Binet test and the performance test, are given to subjects separately. Most verbal and nonverbal tests can be done by a group of subjects writing at the same time. The subjects are told to do their tasks within a certain time. The results are marked and the result of each is compared with a scale indicating what might be expected of children of the same age. What marks are expected of the relatively few bright ants, what marks are expected of the few dull ants, and what marks are expected of the bulk of the population with whom the comparison is being made. This calibration of the test has been made beforehand and we are not concerned with the methods employed. One thing, however, we have to notice and that is that the assessment of the intelligence of any subject is essentially a comparative affair. The results of assessment are expressed in various ways. The most familiar being in terms of what is called the intelligence quotient. For our purposes, we need not consider how this has been devised. It is enough to say that an IQ round about 100 is average, while more than 105 or less than 95 are above or below the average respectively.
Now, since the assessment of intelligence is a comparative matter, we must be sure that the scale with which we are comparing our subjects provides with a valid or fair comparison. It is here that some of the difficulties which interest us begin. Any test performed involves at least three factors: 1. The intention to do one's best, 2. The knowledge required for understanding what you have to do, and the last is the intellectual ability to do it. The first, who must be held equal for all who are being compared, if any comparison in terms of intelligence is to be made. In school populations, in our culture, these assumptions can be made with fair plausibility, and the value of intelligence testing has been proved up to the hilt. Its value lies, of course, in its providing a satisfactory basis for prediction. It is precisely here that the trouble begins when we use our test for people from different cultures. If, as happens among the Dakota Indians, it is indelicate to ask question if you think there is someone present who does not know the answer already, this means that a Dakota child's the test result is not comparable with the result of children brought up in a less sensitive environment. Proteus found difficulty among the Australian Aborigines. They were brought up to believe that all problems had to be discussed in the group, and they found it very eccentric to be expected to solve one by oneself. Thus, all intercultural comparisons of intelligence are vitiated by the lack of true comparability, and any generalization about racial difference and intellectual competence which do not take account of this are worthless. So are many comparisons which have been made between children of different social classes. Well, I think that's enough for this group's presentation and discussion. Thank you for your attention.